today we'll be talking about something interesting. We'll talk about localization of your application. Okay. So localization, we'll talk about that. We'll see how to localize the application. Then how does it look like? So we'll verify whether the localization has actually worked or not. Okay. So like parallel development, here also a step-by-step process is involved to localize the application. Right, but before that, let's see what this localization is all about. Okay. Now suppose, let's take a scenario where you started your application. I mean, you started developing your application, and initially you would like to serve the Indian community. Okay, let's assume an insurance application that you have built, and it is targeted for the Indian users. Good. Now, after a couple of releases, the response was good. The customers are liking it. And so what you do is, now you start thinking about expanding your business. Correct? Now you start looking after other localities. Now maybe you might want the application to be catered for US citizens, or maybe for Eastern European countries also. Now the functionality wise, okay, you start looking at the enterprise class structure, or you take the Indian application as a framework. You will build the other applications as implementation applications, right? Whatsoever you will talk about the situational layer cake and all. So the functionality wise, you will be able to handle it. But what about the locale? So considering the people's or the locale specific aspects, like maybe date formats could be there, or time zones, or maybe currency related entities could be there. So these things have to be specific to the geography or specific to the locale, right? To make sure that people feel comfortable using your application. Right? They shouldn't feel the application is foreign, or probably the application is not relevant. They shouldn't feel that way. So what you do is you tend to convert the things on your application into language specific or locale specific aspects. So that is what localization is all about. So making sure each, customers from each locale, so they have to feel that the application is built for them itself. And it's not like some other application they are using. No, it is designed for that particular language, or it could be for their particular geography. We have a wizard that takes care of this localization part. Now, when I say localization, what do you think is localized? Is it the things that are displayed, or the rules, or is it the backend tables? So what are localized in fact?
The one which is displayed on the UI.
Exactly. So be it your labels, the field values, the options the user would select, right? The captions, instructions, or any tooltips that you have, right? Or any paragraphs that you are displaying. Right? So all these things are what we localize using this wizard. Right? So the localization makes it easy for people to access the application. Right? So let's see what process is involved here and how we will look at that wizard with regard to the localization. Okay, right. Now, is this one more question here? Is this localization is it for end users only, or is it for developers also? What do you think? Is it only for end users or for developers also?
I think it is for end users only.
So here
Because
tricky part. Yeah, go ahead.
no, because developers will work on the Pega platform and Pega will not understand the localized terms
Hmm.
that we have translated.
No, that's tricky here. See, even we can localize the application for end users, also for the developers as well. Right? So, in case if you have few developers working in the Eastern European countries, probably few people may not understand English itself. Right? So you localize the application for them so they can develop the application also. Right? Be it your customer service representatives could be there. It is for customers as well. It is for developers also.
Okay.
Developers also we can localize the application because like I said, for the Indian community, I'm okay with my developers here. They're comfortable with English. But probably for Eastern European countries and all, they might not be aware of English. So what would I do is I localize the application into, respective language, Spanish or Russian, whatever. And from then they will take it forward to, further refine the application or develop the application. So it is both for customers, service representatives, and developers as well. So let's see how this localization is going to work. Like I said, there's a 4-step process on the localization, okay, representing it through a simple diagram. So here is how you can localize it. So step 1 to 4 here, they're relating to exporting few entities. Now, what are those entities? There you can select what language you would like to localize your application in. Then you can select the appropriate rule sets. Then what records are you looking for localizing? And then you export all this into a folder. So this folder or this file, whatever you have, you give it to a translator. So this is not a Pega developer's job, but here an actual translator is involved. He is the one who looks after all your entities, and he will translate them into the appropriate language. Once the translation is complete, then we have to import this back onto the application. Right? So here for uh, for this uh, importing part, we will import the rule sets, then the translation pack, whatever is exported. So the same thing would be imported back into the application environment. Right? So let's see this in a step-by-step process. I think we'll directly move into the dev environment. So we'll see how this is taken care. Okay. Right. But before localizing, I think I'll add in some entities. I mean, I'll add some instructions or I'll add some paragraphs and all. And so let me just log in. So on an overall, if you see, it is just an export and an import. Right? Exporting the language packs, translating it through a translator, then importing it back into the environment. Let's see, let us. Okay, so let's see. I mean, before directly looking at the localization part, I'll add in some labels or I'll add in some instructions. because I would like to, verify it, whether the localization is working or not. So I would like to add in some personal info. Okay. Okay. And I'd like to add in directly on the sections. Or I think I'll give an instruction maybe. Or okay, some instruction. And then on the sections, I would like to add in few entities. Okay, I'll just convert this to a full section editor. Okay, I'm going to add some static text, some labels. And maybe a paragraph. Let us just create one. Okay, I'm just naming it a sample. Okay, so a paragraph. I'll just add that on my okay. Then I think rest of the fields are anyways there. Okay, so now let's start the wizard. Okay, so in order to have the localization wizard, you can do it from configure. And any guesses where would it be, under which category?
Data model, maybe?
No, This is almost related to your styling part, so it will be available on the user.
Okay.
Right. User interface, then your application readiness, then your localization. Okay. So in the localization, what are you going to do? It's like I would like to translate this to a new language first. So, right. So this is the first thing that would be configure, user interface, readiness, localization, translate to new language. Okay. Now from here we would start the process, as in which languages are you looking at for the localization. Okay. So which rule set would you like to localize? Yes. So here the first thing is select languages. I can select multiple. I think we'll choose Hindi. So at least we can see exactly localized or not. Okay. So I would like to choose Hindi. So let me add. Okay, so you can add in multiple languages together. Now, in case if you need any retranslation of, if there are already some existing translations and you would like to retranslate it, you can select this. But I don't have any, so I'll let it be. And then I'll go next. Okay, all right. So then comes the rule sets. So are you looking at specific rule sets to be localized? So in case, if that is the scenario, I can select what all rule sets have to be localized. So there might be specifications that only few things are allowed for localization. Probably I don't want my integration related rule sets to be localized. So we can choose those things accordingly and then you can have it. For now, I will let all the rule sets be included. Okay. And I don't need Pega rules and other rule sets to be involved. So this is just for my application alone. We are localizing. And I don't think UI kit. Okay, I'll let it be because I assume we changed few things on the UI kit also. So I'll let it be. And then next. Okay, then this will enable the record. So you can see how many records are enabled for the localization. Okay, so this might involve your fields, your paragraphs, if at all any field values are there. So all those would be enabled here. Let me click on.
When we did select rule sets, so do we create a new rule set entirely, or do we use the previous unlocked version?
No, this is just for selecting the rule sets. I mean, when you export it back, anyways, new rule sets will be created. For each of your language, you will have a new rule set and a version would be created when you export it. But during the import, we would only select, which means, I mean, which version of the rule set or which rule set are you going to localize. Okay, this is just a selection that we make here. No new version is not created. And about, I mean, if you're talking about whether this rule set should it be locked or can it be unlocked? Yes, it can be. I mean, either ways, it is either locked or unlocked. It doesn't matter for this part here. Okay?
So
But
now oven will go. Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So oven will take this rule set and it will localize the rules which are there in this rule set only, or will it take O1, O3, O1 as well?
No, here what happens is only the one that we selected will be chosen for localization. Okay? And that too, if you see this has to be an unlocked version. Okay. Right? So if you think for this particular, there are no unlocked rule set versions, then except for field values, no other entities will be localized.
Okay, can you please repeat that one?
Okay. See, now whichever version that I mentioned here, it has to be ideally an unlocked version. Okay.
Okay.
But if it is locked by any chance, if you think that version is locked and you don't know the password, you're not able to unlock it, then except for the field values, no other entities can be localized. So this would be enabled only for the field values in case if it is a locked version. Got it? Like I think it would be,
and
yeah. Right,
if
see
I
here.
have to,
Let's see here. If you
so
observe, Wizard enables records for translation and the next step only for unlocked rule sets. If it's unlocked, everything on that will be enabled. But if it is locked, then you will only see the field values.
okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And if I have to do it for an entire application, not for a specific rule set,
Okay.
then what to do? I mean, do we have to do a skimming and take all the rules in one rule
Right.
set and
Ideally.
then give that rule set?
Correct. Correct. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Because it is targeted for one specific version only. So you can kind of a disadvantage here. But generally, the best practice we consider is the ones that's on the highest version, or probably like you said, that's skimmed and it has all the copies of the rules. It's better we do it after skimming or just when you have your initial version of the application.
Okay.
Yes. So now if I just proceed further. Now if I would like to enable the records, so you can see what all records are enabled here. Okay, so I can see successfully enabled is just one, already enabled are 6. I think these 6 are our field values that we have created earlier.
Yeah.
Okay? And this one seems, I think, a paragraph, the one that we have just created. So seems for that. Okay. Other than that, all your so-called field names and all the instructions, they are also available. But these are the ones that are specifically enabled for your field values and paragraphs. Let's see. Let us proceed. Okay. Now, yes, the translation pack is ready. So I can just download this. So this gives all the, I mean, this is going to give me a zip file where you have an Excel sheet for the translation. I think in the meanwhile, let us have the, okay, let us do an English to Hindi Google converter. I would like to use this. One moment. Yeah. So yes, seems like it is downloaded. Okay, let me open the pack. Right, so if you observe, this is how the translation pack would look like, and you also get to see the language here. Right? So let me just unzip it. Okay, so let me open this. Right, so I get to see some translation files folder. Let me open it. And here you get to see a text to translate. Okay, so this is the XML file the system would look at once you import it back. So make sure this XML is not renamed. Okay, so let me open it and see what are things are enabled and what do I have for exporting, or sorry, what do I have for translation. You should. Why isn't this open? There's an Excel sheet. 1 minute, or let me open it directly from the Excel. Yeah, I'm just trying to open a normal Excel sheet, and from that I'm trying to open this text to translate. Okay, yes. So this is how you can see the text to translate file, where you can see these entities, and if at all a translation would be displayed on the column B. Okay, and you can see C is the type of it. Is it an action? Is it a button? Is it an instruction? Is it label? So you get to see these things, right? So is it a correspondence? Is it a paragraph? You get to see. Okay, now we can start the translation. But ideally, this job of translation part is by an actual translator. So we wouldn't do it. But yet now, for now, I'm just going to do. Okay, I think let's start with the first name. Okay. So few labels we'll try to. We'll try to. Okay, I'm going to use a Google Translate for this. First name. Okay, Palanam. I'll just copy it. And if at all first name is there anywhere. Okay, so first name is just there for one single instance. Okay, we will just do it for like 5 to 6 things, like for each of it. Okay, so seems like Russia is part of my sort of. So we'll do it for this. To send off for email. Okay, is this there multiple times? Send offer email. There's an action also. What else? There's a button label. Offer. Okay, fair enough. And what do you do for maybe instruction? Please enter the information. This is the instruction on my first screen. Also. Okay. And recruitment. I'll do the recruitment also because this recruitment is what we will see in most of the screens. So I'll do this. And wherever recruitment is available. Seems like yes. All the recruitment are satisfied. Maybe I'll just add one sample pair also.
While for para, there is an external translation written.
Sorry?
For paragraph, for sample
Paragraph.
essay, we have an external translation.
Right. So let me show you that. Now once I click on this, so it opens up another folder here. If you look at this in the translation files, once I click on the translation, you see this as a HTML. So this part is like is not directly in the Excel sheet, but it's part of another translation. Now, for example, I would like to change it. Suppose if I would like to change it, I can create an HTML with the the Hindi font, and I can have it on my translation.html. So this folder from where I've got, so I can directly use the HTML to make the changes. But it is not part of an Excel sheet. Just like other entities, it can be directly manipulated on the Excel. So it's listed out as external translation.
So we will have to change the in the base.html we have the paragraph in English.
Correct.
In
so they
translation.html.
Correct. In the
in base
translation.
only.
Not in this. Here in the Excel sheet, we don't need to make a change, but it has to be on the HTML directly. So you can like save as this HTML.
Okay, you'll have to save as
Here
it.
you can directly make a change. You can oh sorry. You should be able to directly edit this. Okay, edit this. Seems like this is not being editable. Or I think I'll just save any normal one. Let me see if we'll be able to save it as an HTML. So ideally what we do is we will create an HTML with the translated text, like be it Hindi or whatever localized language we want. We will create another translation.html, and that can be directly referred on this external translation. So we don't need to do anything. Just that you click on it, you will point onto the right translation.html, provided we don't change in any of those names. Now, for example, if you look at send offer email, you will see the translation corresponding to that. So this will be a separate translation file. So on send offer email, I don't think we have configured anything. So it is empty. It is referring to the corresponding translation HTML.
So the change we'll have to just save as this one to make a copy and then change in it.
Correct. Exactly. I'm not sure why it is not.
Here it is not getting edited.
Correct. It's not being. I think I'll do a save as and see once. Let's see, maybe. We'll do one thing. We'll add something from this. I'll add this on the Word, and we'll see if we'll be able to save that on the HTML. Let's see it. Yeah. Okay. I'll try to do save as into HTML. Let me see if that. Okay. I think I'll do it as a web page. Let us see. Okay. Yes. But this time I'll try to name it as. So this I'll name it as some translation one. Okay, so translation. Yes, so I see this Hindi text now. Fine. Okay, now let me just go back. I'll delete all these things. Okay, now earlier my translation consisted of something on English. Now we changed it to Hindi. Let us just check if it is referring, my Excel is referring to the right one or not. If yes, then we are successful. So my sample para is now, okay, let us see. Yes, right. So now my sample para is, it is pointing to the right translation.html. Okay. So let us make some changes for this, for few of these updated in the last 7 days. So if you observe, these are something that we see on the screen directly. I mean, they're not related to my transaction or something, but you see they are all part of your panel. On the right side, you see the updates panel, right? So you get to see that. Welcome to HR services application. I think this is on the section. Okay, right. Then this is another instruction. Thank you. Okay. So this comes towards the end of the transaction. Okay, I think fair enough. Anything else? Phone. Okay, we'll do for phone also. Okay, right. So we changed some. Okay, one thing. Create. Okay, let's do for create also. This is interesting. Okay, so wherever create is there, it is there as a button label also. It is there as a window caption also. Okay, there's one more window caption. Okay, this is created by and all. Fine. So I think fair enough. We have added almost about how many? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, around like 15. I think we have added more than 10 translations. Okay, I think let us go ahead. I'm going to save this. Save the translation.xml. So make sure the name is not modified. Okay, so now once I save it, I'll go back to the folder and make sure all the other translation files are closed. Okay, and yes, my change is available. Okay, now I'll zip it back. Okay, yes, my translation file is available. Now I've exported the language package. I made some changes on the translation file. Now the next thing is I have to import this back onto my environment. Okay, for that I'll go back. Right, I'm here on this. So once I click next, once your export part is done, we would be importing it, right? So you see all of the wizards in Pega, I mean, they are just like your case instances. So here you see the work ID for this language, I mean, localization is PXL 1 and it says the translation is in progress. Okay, either you can close it, right? So it says PXL1 is in progress. You can either close it. Import part is, sorry, export is done. Let's do the import. Okay, so almost the same path, user interface, readiness, localization, but this time translation in progress. Okay, so if you are doing multiple localizations, remember the transaction ID. So in our scenario, it is PXL1. Okay. So yes, so I see PXL1. The status is open. We are importing. I mean, the next thing what it says is import Hindi translations. Okay, let me open this and let us import that zip file back on the application. Okay, and if you observe, so you can create separate rule sets for separate languages. If you observe, see, there's HRS for Hindi, there's HRS int for Hindi, there's XYZ. Both your organization rule sets and application rule sets are created separately for each language that we localize it into. Right? If you want, you can create it as a new version. Okay. And in case if you need, okay, let me just select it. And in case if you need a separate rule set to be stored for your HTML correspondence, I mean, all those external links are available, right? So those things, if you want it to be stored as a separate rule set, yes, you can. So all your new language translations will be stored in HRS Hindi and O101 O. Okay, right. Good, next. So upload the zip file. Yes, let me choose the file and yes, my translation. Yes. And while uploading itself, you would know. So the file uploaded successfully. Next. So you would know how many translations are available and how many have been imported, how many have been skipped. So on the so-called Excel sheet, there are around 100 translations that are available, of which I think we did change around 12, or in between 10 to 15 we made some changes. Okay, I think we have imported 16. I mean, we made changes to some 16, I guess. Yes, so 16 new translations have been imported. 96 have been skipped, whereas 0 had any errors. Okay, good. Let me finish this. So your export and import part is done. So now your application is localized. But how do I know whether it's correctly localized or not? So let's see that. Okay, let me just close this. The wizard is complete. Now, okay, in order to check the localization part, what I would do is I'll go back to the configure UI, application readiness, localization, and locale settings. Okay, so now make sure the locale settings are set to the respective language here. Okay. Okay, so yes, I chose India here. Let me click on update. Okay, now let us run the transaction. Okay, so if you see, we changed the recruitment to Bharti. Right? So you see the recruitment is now modified here. I no longer see recruitment, instead I see the localized version of it. Okay, let me click. Okay, so if you remember, we changed the create label also, right? So earlier there used to be create. Now I have this localized one, and even the recruitment, there in multiple places. One is a window caption, right? One we changed it, so I get to see that here. Okay, let me proceed. And in fact, you can even change this, advance the case. You can change cancel. All these can. And then I think on the next screen we changed some first name, last name, phone. I think yes, we should expect those also to be localized if everything went right. Yes, so I still see Bharti and Krupaya Jankari. I think this is part of the instruction that we have given, right? And then I think, well,
Welcome to HR services.
right, yes. Then I think this
The
we did not.
English one also came.
Right, this we did not localize. I think this is part of what this part of para. I think we did
It
not.
was a part of
Right, I think we did not localize this, right?
we did to the Hindi version where we changed the HTML. We created a new HTML file.
Right, so that is for sample para. Okay, let's see. What did we change it to?
We just changed it to welcome to HR services.
I think this one. I think.
Nice.
Okay, namaste, swagata. Okay, we'll see if this turns up in any screen.
Okay.
But otherwise, yes, rest of the things, my sample text instructions and my labels, Palanam, Antinam, phone have been, and then see here also I still have create here, and all of the create ones are updated. Okay, on the screen we will not update any. Not on this also. Let me test. Then we change something on last screen again, relating to
Yeah,
an
the
instance.
routed message.
Correct. That is. Right. Yes, the routing part. So this message is also updated. Right. Correct. We didn't see this anywhere. Is it's not. Mm, But on the Excel, I think it is correctly pointing out. Okay, but let's see why it did not turn up. So here, let's check if it is. Oh, sorry. It is pointing on the right translation only. But we can see it. Instead of this, I should be able to see that. Yeah. Is there something that I should enable or something here? No. Oh, I think we changed create here also. So yeah, I can see create here. The change that we made. So even on the developer's perspective also, yes, I can localize the application. But what about why the sample is not localized?
The section in which we have referred the sample para, can we open that one?
Yeah,
There one checkbox is there. If we open this, we
localization
create the
related.
para. Okay, when we create any property, there is one checkbox like localize one. Here, I don't think it is there for para.
Generally, paragraphs are enabled. I mean, by default, they are enabled for localization.
Okay.
That's what I was checking if there's any. Show the preview, show the description, show. Yeah. Okay, I gonna my create all over the application is changed now. Ideally, this sample para should also be localized. I don't see any reason why it is not being, because it is pointing to the right translation file.
Yeah, and we have deleted the English one, I guess,
Yes,
from the
yes, that is completely.
translation.
So sample para. I mean, this is nothing to do with the finding the right one, because the key, or is it looking for any key or something? No, because we changed few things also. Yeah, it is just pointing to the hyperlink. That's all. It's not checking any keys and all also. Just that the external transaction file and from this folder is what it is looking for. And I think did it correctly only. It's on the right looking for this. Or is it looking for base? No, it is looking for translation only, because we see it on the file also that it's looking for or will I think we had to change in the base maybe.
Yes, yeah.
Probably because this is still like this. Okay, I think I'll delete this. So instead of this, I think I'll use base. Then maybe I have to export it back. Let's check if we can. No, but the wizard is already complete. So is that complete? So it's taking me to the new new export part again. So that PXL1 is considered complete. So no longer import it onto the same thing. In progress if there's any. No. So maybe the next time when I do it, we have to, I think, do it onto the. We'll just give that a try once. I'll delete this. There are no unlocked. I have unlocked rule sets. Already enabled. Right. Oh, I think this version now. Let us check once.
We did it for unlock. We had no unlock rule set, so it will take only field values for translation.
Right. That's why only
But we
6
have
or
a
paragraph is
paragraph.
not added. Correct. Let's see. This still shows this as unlocked only. I still see O1 as unlocked. Okay, so maybe we will just try it for one last time. But O1 is unlocked anyways.
Is it for
Unlocked.
another one? So
Sorry?
is it for HRS only?
HRS. Yes.
Other ones, HRS, Inter, XYZ, are these unlocked?
131. Okay, so the others also, I think it is taking only the latest.
Yeah, they are unlocked.
Yeah. This also, okay, 10301. Yeah. 0101 is very well unlocked only. Okay, now even if we proceed also, it will not consider the paragraph now. I mean, even if we complete the wizard, it would again be, I wouldn't still be able to get the paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I think I have to change the paragraph and the section to 01, 03, 01 again. If at all I would like to look at this. Okay, maybe I'll check that paragraph thing once again. I mean, probably I'll do it with this thing once again and I'll confirm it. Okay, but otherwise, rest of all the localizations were successful. So I see all the button actions, then few window options, so instructions. So those were all localized, right? So I'll also localize all those things that you see on the screen. Wherever you see create, now I see in create, I see the localized one.
Yeah.
And your customer service representatives and for developers. Okay. So clear with this? And for that paragraph part, I will try doing it once again. I will recheck it and I will confirm.
Okay, sure.
Right. otherwise, are we clear for today? Any questions?
No questions for now. I'll try this one today. Maybe then
Sure,
tomorrow I
sure,
can ask the questions.
sure, sure. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. And thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.